On passing by. Thus, walking slowly among many peoples and through numerous towns, Zarathustra returned on roundabout paths to his mountains and his cave. And on the way he also came unexpectedly to the gate of the great city. But here a foaming fool jumped toward him with outspread hands and barred his way. This, however, was the same fool whom the people called Zarathustra's ape, for he had gathered something of his phrasing and cadences, and also liked to borrow the treasures of his wisdom. But the fool spoke thus to Zarathustra: "O Zarathustra, here is the great city. Here you could find nothing and lose everything. Why do you want to wade through this mire? Have pity on your foot. Rather spit on the city gate and turn back. Here is hell for a hermit's thoughts. Here great thoughts are boiled alive and cooked till they are small. Here all great feelings decay. Only the smallest rattle-boned feelings may rattle here. Don't you smell the slaughterhouses and ovens of the spirit even now? Does not this town steam with the fumes of slaughtered spirit? Don't you see the soul hanging like a limp, dirty rag? And they still make newspapers of these rags. Don't you hear how the spirit has here been reduced to plays on words? It vomits revolting verbal swill, and they still make newspapers of this swill. They hound each other and know not where. They overheat each other and know not why. They tinkle with their tin, they jingle with their gold. They are cold and seek warmth from brandy. They are heated and seek coolness from frozen spirits. They are all diseased and sick with public opinions. All lusts and vices are at home here, but there are also some here who are virtuous. There is much serving virtue, much serviceable virtue with pin fingers and hard sitting and waiting flesh, blessed with little stars on the chest, and with patted, rumpless daughters. There is also much piety, and there are many devout lickspittles, batteries of fakers and flattery bakers before the God of hosts. For it is from above that the stars and the gracious spittle trickle. Every starless chest longs above. The moon has her courtyard, and the courtyard has its moon calves. To everything, however, that comes from the court, the beggarly mob and all serviceable beggar virtue pray. I serve, you serve, we serve. Thus all serviceable virtue prays to the prince, that the deserved star may finally be pinned on the narrow chest. The moon, however, still revolves around all that is earthly. So too the prince still revolves around that which is earthliest, but that is the gold of the shopkeeper. The God of hosts is no God of gold bars. The prince proposes, but the shopkeeper disposes. By everything in you that is bright and strong and good, O Zarathustra, spit on this city of shopkeepers and turn back. Here all the blood flows putrid and lukewarm and spumy through all the veins. Spit on the great city, which is the great swill room where all the swill spoons together. Spit on the city of compressed souls and narrow chests, of pop-eyes and sticky fingers. On the city of the obtrusive, the impudent, the scribble and scream throats, the overheated, ambitious, conceited, where everything infirm, infamous, lustful, dusky, overmusty, pussy, and plotting putrefies together. Spit on the great city and turn back. Here, however, Zarathustra interpreted the foaming fool and put his hand over the fool's mouth. "Stop at last," cried Zarathustra. "Your speech and your manner have long nauseated me. Why do you live near the swamps so long until you yourself have become a frog and a toad? Does not putrid, spumy swamp blood flow through your own veins, now that you have learned to croak and revile thus? Why have you not gone into the woods, or to plough the soil? Does not the sea abound in the green islands? I despise your despising, and if you warned me, why did you not warn yourself? Out of love alone shall my despising and my warning bird fly up, not out of the swamp. They call you my ape, you foaming fool, but I call you my grunting swine. With your grunting you spoil for me my praise of folly. What was it that first made you grunt? That nobody flattered you sufficiently? You sat down to this filth so as to have reason to grunt much, to have reason for much revenge. For all your foaming is revenge, you vain fool. I guessed it well. But your words injure me, even where you are right. And if Zarathustra's words were 1,000 times right, you still would always do wrong with my words. Thus spoke Zarathustra, and he looked at the great city, sighed, and long remained silent. At last he spoke thus: I am nauseated by this great city, too, and not only by this fool. Here, as there is nothing to better, nothing to worsen. Woe unto this great city, and I wish I already saw the pillar of fire in which it will be burned. For such pillars of fire must precede the great noon. But this has its own time and its own destiny. This doctrine, however, I give you, fool, as a parting present, where one can no longer love, one should pass by. Thus spoke Zarathustra, and he passed by the fool at the great city.